Good evening. This is CTV News. I'm Denise Douglas.
And I'm Patricia Malone. Thank you for joining us tonight. Well, the defense is presenting its case before jurors in the Daron Boswell Johnson murder trial. Yesterday, the court heard testimony that Johnson admitted to killing Nashante Davis and his 2-year-old daughter. Today, they heard testimony to the contrary. Byron Scott has the story.
One of the detectives who interviewed Daron Boswell Johnson in the hours after the deaths of Nashante Davis and 2-year-old Chloe was back on the stand here in court today. He's Detective James Bolden. He's testifying on the stand today that Johnson denied killing Nashante and his daughter Chloe numerous times during that hours-long interview. In fact, the defense, who also saw the taped interview, says that Johnson denied it more than 100 times. Now, it appears in this case that the defense is trying to discredit the taped interview by suggesting that police decided to keep the interview going until Johnson admitted guilt. Now, you'll recall yesterday also that Detective Bolton testified that Johnson did admit to going to Nashante Davis's house with a gun and that he shot the two of them. Also today, the detective said that Johnson told him that another person showed up at the house that morning, got out of a car, and fired those shots. Now, in this case, as you'll recall also, Johnson faces 2 counts of murder. That's the latest here at the courthouse. Byron Scott, back to you.
Thank you, Byron, for that report. Well, a somber day in St. Mary's County. Families, friends, and classmates of Jalen Willie came together to say goodbye this morning. Willie was shot at her school, Great Mills High School, last Tuesday morning. She died a few days later. The 16-year-old was remembered as a wonderful teenager. As the nation continues the debate over gun control and school safety, Willie's shooting shocked the Great Mills community. Governor Larry Hogan and Congressman Steny Hoyer attended the funeral, which was held at the Hollywood Volunteer Fire Department.
In political news, lawmakers in Annapolis are once again tackling the issue of sexual harassment. A hearing was held on a bill that would make several changes to anti-harassment procedures and policies. For example, it would alter the training that is needed, as well as require the Joint Ethics Committee to provide a copy of a complaint to the Human Resources Manager for the General Assembly.
A lot of people are hesitant to come forward and talk about it or discuss it, or to even name their the victims are hesitant to name the people who have done things to them. For instance, the way that it's even structured now, some of the people who may have actually perpetrated different forms of sexual harassment are also the same ones that decide the validity of cases or whether or not something can proceed forward. So the structure needs to be changed, but let me be clear, we do great work down here. We have great people down here. This is not something that we want to say that everything down here is going crazy. But do we have a problem? Absolutely. And as I said in my testimony, we have a monster that we've created, and it's our duty to put it down. This bill takes a step in that direction. I believe we need stronger protections, but we definitely need to pass House Bill 1342.
The bill has several dozen sponsors, including Delegate Angela Angel, as you saw there, and Joseline Pena-Melnick. He would take aim at misconduct, fraud, waste, and abuse at WSSC. That person would be the Inspector General. A bill being considered in Annapolis would establish a position at the Washington Suburban Sanitary Commission. The role would also require the person to do annual audits. We spoke with a lawmaker about the importance of this position.
Prince George's County, we share with Montgomery County, how we get our water services with WSSC as well as DC. So we want to have accountability, make sure that we're treating our customers right, that everybody's getting fair practices, and there's not any abuse or neglect. It's not throwing rocks at WSSC, but it's saying, since you're such a huge agency and you got to have water and it's such a key component of life, just want to make sure we're doing the right thing.
If the bill is passed, it will take effect in July.
Annapolis lawmakers passed a controversial bill that could change the way local school construction funding is allocated each year. But the measure does not have the support of Governor Larry Hogan, who has vowed to veto it. The legislation would allow spending decisions to be made by appointees selected by the governor, the House Speaker, and the Senate President. Currently, the decisions are in the hands of a 3-member Board of Public Works. Opponents of the bill say giving control to a commission of appointees removes transparency and accountability from the process. And you are watching CTV News. I'm Patricia Malone.
And I'm Denise Douglas.